The main question that I get a lot is how to reduce Facebook ads cost per results. Now, there are many angles to look at it. Okay, but first thing first, generally, let's break it into two directions. When you want to reduce the cost per result or improve the campaign performance, okay, I actually break it into two segments, which the first segment is, which is on the ad segment, whereby it's on the ad level, whereby it's the audience targeting, it's the objective selection, it's the ad creative. So this portion is actually very straightforward. If you want to reduce the cost per result, the whole idea here is you can actually increase, first, one of the angle is you want to increase the CTR, the click-through rate, which in a way is by improving the performance of your advertisement, which is one thing that a lot of people are trying to do, which is, okay, actually very straightforward. If this ad is actually getting you this kind of result, we always try to implement or actually test new ad creative or copywriting to see we are able to bring the CTR up. Because essentially, when we are able to increase the CTR, say for example, now your CTR link click is 1%. And if I'm able to increase the CTR link click to 1.5, that's actually a 50% increment, meaning by spending the same amount of money, you actually get 50% more clicks, which in turn might result in probably 50% more sales or more sign up or more leads, which is one way. Okay, so this is on the ad level. But of course, there are different variables that we can test as well, whereby you can actually test different optimization. If you're actually doing a lead generation on lead form, maybe you can actually try website lead gen or even messages lead gen to see whether different formats or different objectives are able to bring you different results at the lower cost. But of course, later on, we will be examining whether the results are, the quality of the results are equivalently good. If you get a lot of leads through Messenger, for example, but these people are not ready, then it's also a waste of money. So that's on the ad side. So that's a few angles already where we can actually look into to bring the cost down. Then on the other segment is about off the ad, which is, you see, when it comes to buying, to become a buyer, for example, whether it's on an e-commerce website or becoming a lead, the entire process is actually a very long process. And advertisement is only actually a portion of it. So let's say, for example, you run lead gen ads and you bring people in. Eventually, your sales process also plays a very important role, as in like how soon you respond to these leads and what is your script, how many touch points you make, and how do you actually qualify a lead to be, potential or not potential, and what are the processes that you are doing after the whole process, whether do you have a continuous follow-up process, and etc. There are many things. And when it comes to e-commerce perspective, even like a more solid journey that we can actually improve. Like, for example, one of the possibility is, let's say if you have a lot of people coming to your website, but very little added to cart. So that means what? You either probably brought in the wrong person who actually are not really interested in your product, but you brought them in because of your deceptive ad. And that's one way we qualify as, the ad are actually doing a bad job by, bringing the wrong person in. So in that way, we actually need to probably change the direction. Or it could be audience targeting, they are doing the wrong thing as well. Or maybe the website is actually not really performing, whereby we can actually try to improve the loading page or improve the whole buying process and all that. Or if you have a lot of add to cart, but very little people purchase, which is also some cases that we have faced before. So that could be because of the price, maybe, okay? Or the whole entire checkout process is just too, too boring or too clunky that actually stops people from buying. So when it comes to reducing the cost per result, as you can see, I want you to actually to be able to look at it as a like, from a bird eye view, and if you're able to build a kind of like a world like this and a bird eye view like this on the entire converting process, from running the ad, meeting the new people, and until to become a client or a customer per se, there is a process. And the entire process are full of opportunities for us to optimize, to be able to kind of like increase the performance or bring the cost down. So that's in general my opinion of how you can actually reduce the cost per result, or that's how you can actually optimize a Facebook advertising campaign. That's why we shouldn't be focusing too much on the ad itself or the audience targeting itself. That's, in my opinion, is very narrow-minded. But we want to look at it and see how we can actually optimize. So yeah, for anyone who are running ads and you need help in terms of like you want a third eye, like for us to look at the entire campaign to see if there's anything that I can help you pinpoint and identify that, oh, this could be area that we want to improve, to see whether we can actually bring in more results by maybe changing the checkout process, or even increase the CTR by changing the video, or changing the copywriting. You can actually scan this QR code. Okay, so in this gig, we're going to have a Zoom call screen sharing, whereby you will actually bring up your ads manager and I'll be dissecting the numbers for you. So the half an hour session will be very beneficial for you, especially if you're running ads actively. This is where we are able to dive into active campaign, or like we can actually also dissect past campaign, but not too long ago, please. Otherwise, it will be irrelevant. So we can actually dive into the campaign itself to see what are the things that you are doing right or wrong, and how can we improvise. So it's an analysis aimed for optimization. It's a very powerful so-called process. So especially if you're running ads, you want to know how can you actually bring the cost down, or how can you improve the performance, how can you optimize your campaign, what are the directions, what are the possibilities. Scan this QR code, and you'll be landed on my Fiverr gig. Just pay for it, and you'll be able to schedule a 30-minute Zoom call with me. Then we will dive right into your campaign to see how we can improve your campaign performance by whether bringing the cost down or improving the result or the conversion rate.